It's always a joy to be here. It is such a joy that all of you are here as well. And I love that this church has been around as long as it has been. There's a reason for it. And thank you, Pastor Susan, for all what you have done. And I also do want to acknowledge everyone who was involved with yesterday's service, the celebration of life for Aurelia. It was over the top and so well done, and I was so honored that I could be part of this. So, whoever was involved, thank you. So, let's begin with this topic. I am free with spirit. And thank you for the wonderful choir singing that amazing song. What a reminder. Everything will be all right. I know I need to be reminded of that. And that's one reason I picked this topic, is I need to be reminded of everything I'm sharing with you as well. There's so many people who have so many challenges. You know, maybe your loved one has a terminal illness, or your spouse lost their job, or perhaps there's even more pressure or stress in your own life. And there's many people who are so concerned and feeling very uncertain about what's happening on the planet and in our own country. And there's a lot of fear that many people have. And I'm not excluded from that. I have had my fears, plenty of them. Last year I went through was probably the worst and the best year of my life. The worst year being that a huge challenge with a family member who went through a medical situation, and yet such an opportunity to grow and to deepen my faith. And this is part of the reason, again, I'm offering the talk today, to reinforce the need and the benefit that each of you can have, that you can gift for yourself, the gift of being connected with Spirit. There is an incredible resource. God, Spirit, the Creator, the all that is always here loving you, always here supporting you. The strength and foundation of God is with us always, everlasting. The best thing that we can do, the best thing that each one of you can do for yourself, is to have a remembrance of that. Remember, you can always rely on the vastness of the love and support of God. I remember my 2 adult children now, but I remember the days that they were teenagers, and I had my share of worry when they didn't come home at the designated time. You know, they went out to party with their friends and would come home late. And it was so easy to come up with making up stories, worst possible scenarios, things that happened to them. You know, and I found myself worried, but then I remembered that God is in charge. And that brought me some relief. And even today, sometimes I'll think and be worried about my kids. You know, once a parent, always a parent, right? I'm sure you can relate to this. So I was thinking of them the other day, and I was a little bit worried, and what is their future like? And I remembered to tap into remembering God is in charge, not me. And then the next day, I got this incredible message from my spirit guides during meditation. I love it. It is not up to you to predict their future. Yeah. And it is not up to you to judge what's going on. Wow, what a reminder. So I took those words in as truth, yes. And this really helps me tremendously, whether it's with my kids or the world or my own life. I recognize that God is always here, that amazing foundation. Oh, yes, and there's this amazing phrase that I love, consciousness vantage point. Consciousness vantage point. I was given this while I was downloading and channeling my book, Humanity's Cry for Change. And this is an incredible concept that helps me put things into perspective of my humanness versus the vastness of God. And the consciousness vantage point is this. We all have a certain consciousness, but we, even though we're divine, we are in a human body. And by design, we only have a sliver, a tiny amount of privy to the information of all that is. Our consciousness, the vantage point of our consciousness is very tiny compared to the vastness, infinite realm of God. God has the consciousness vantage point of everything. So because God has that consciousness perspective, God knows all. God knows and orchestrates in ways we could never imagine. And so for me, this brings me some relief and comfort to know if I can release my humanness, if I can release my thinking of how the outcome should be, then giving it to God brings me such joy. And you know, if you want to make God laugh, tell God you know how to take care of things. You know, you're in control. I know what the outcome should be. Well, there is a lot to be said about, yes, we can co-create with Spirit, but truly it is not up to us. And so I have been able to deepen my faith and trust through many experiences, but especially last year. And my hope is to inspire you as well on ways that you can delve into becoming more free with Spirit. To become more free with God, when you can have God as your refuge and your sanctuary. God is always, always there, and I'm repeating this because it's so important that we remind ourselves of this. A friend of mine a few weeks ago, we were having a great conversation, and she shared with me an insight that she lives by, because I had asked her, how is it your life is so magical? I mean, she has things falling into her lap. She's got amazing synchronicities that happen. She's happy. She's of high energy. She is so inspirational. And she shared with me that she totally gives everything to God, that she totally surrenders. And like, for example, she came back from a trip from France, and at DIA at the airport, she ran into an acquaintance. And the acquaintance said to her that she has a friend who lives in Washington State and is looking for a roommate. And interestingly, my friend was considering moving to Washington State because recently she'd been getting all these messages and synchronicities to move to Washington State. So what an amazing synchronicity. And now, where does she live? She's at that home in Washington State with that person. So what a reminder again to just surrender. Give it to God. It doesn't mean you don't take action, but it does mean pay attention. Deepen your faith. So I have 3 pathways for spiritual freedom for you that can support you in creating more of that ability to be free with Spirit, to have freedom into creating more peace in your life, more love and joy, to have freedom to lessen your angst and worry, freedom to reduce that stress. It doesn't mean it'll never come back again. Challenges will come. But when you can rely on and remember to come back to the everlasting source of God, the Creator, whatever word you use. Come back to that support. Oh, that reminds me, I did want to share a short story with you regarding the first tool or way that you can deepen your faith, how you can get more free with Spirit. And the first is deepen your faith and trust. Easier said than done, I know, but it is possible. And one way to do it is to recognize and remember all the synchronicities and the good that is happening in your life. Perhaps you just recently met that perfect person who led you to that great job, or the synchronicity of my friend moving to Washington State. For me, as I was preparing this talk, I asked myself, how does one develop trust? At that very moment, I had an incredible visceral experience. I felt from up above through my crown chakra and then all the way down to my feet, this sense of love. It was so comforting and so peaceful. I was immensely touched. Having that experience is an incredible demonstration to me, there's a lot of reason to trust. So I cherish that experience that Spirit gave me. One thing that also helps me is to say this phrase. So let's say there is a troubling situation or someone in your life is, causing upset within you. Say this with sincerity. God, I place this situation in your hands. Guide me, hold me, help me trust you. And as you can do this on an ongoing basis, it will help you to develop more surrender. Excuse me. Develop more surrender and more trust and faith.
May we practice it with you again?
Well, thank you. Do we have time for that? It'll take just 1 minute. Thank you for asking. Yes, let's do. Keeping your eyes closed or open, whatever you're comfortable. Say and repeat silently to yourself, God, I place this situation in your hands. Guide me, hold me, and help me trust you. Guide me, hold me, help me trust you. All right, thank you. And again, God, I place this situation in your hands. Guide me, hold me, help me trust you. I've been doing this and it really has been helping me. So there is another wonderful concept, tool that I would suggest that you use to help you to bring into more connection and be free more with Spirit. And that is to let go of control. Oh, I know this one only too well. I have been so much better in the many recent years of letting go. However, I still have to remind myself of this. Easier said than done. But if you can, again, go into that meditation or a phrase during the day to tell yourself, I release this to you, God. I don't know what's best. And I am not here to judge what someone else is to learn or how they're going to learn it. That's a big one for me. That has helped me tremendously. So it's a great tool. And I used to work, I am still a certified life coach and I'm a certified financial coach. I used to work at a nonprofit as a certified financial coach. And so many of my clients were such low income. And I have a high sensitivity towards people who are what I think suffering or going through difficulties, I have such a high sensitivity. So what helped me to just release and give it to God is I said to myself, well, I don't know what they came here to learn. And what are they to learn and how are they to learn it? So that really helped me a lot. Here is one last tool for you to help you to be free with spirit, and that is live in the present moment. Live in the present moment. This is the best way that you can connect within yourself and with spirit. When you are connecting, you have a better chance of having more clear mind, more energy. You're not giving your energy away into the past. You're not giving it away to the future. Totally present allows you that incredible container. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Yes, I've got several hands up. There is nothing like being in the present moment to bring yourself in this place of connection within yourself. It also helps you to be aware when you're walking into a room. How does your body feel? Are you getting triggered by that someone at the end of the room that you haven't seen for a long time that hurt you? So if you're totally present and aware, this helps. This is an inspiring story I found. In 2002, a 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart was kidnapped from her home in Utah. She was held captive for 9 months until she was finally rescued. Incredible fear and uncertainty that she endured. She later shared, during her darkest moments, that her faith in God became her anchor. She prayed constantly, finding moments of inner refuge, even when nothing around her was safe. When she was rescued, she did share her belief in God was her savior, her way of being able to survive. Her connection and belief and deep faith and prayer to God gave her the strength to make it through, to survive without losing hope. Elizabeth has gone on to become an advocate for child safety and for healing. And she often speaks about how her trust in God carried her through that amazing, deep, horrifying experience of 9 months of captivity. What an inspiration that we can tap into that faith and that trust. I will close by sharing a brief blessing. I first would like to do a super short summary. Do the best you can to go into that deep faith and trust. And also, if you can, to be in a place of letting go. Recognize actions that you can take, but let go. It is up to God anyway. And finally, do your best to live in the present moment. May you remember the presence of God within. May you tap into the strength and the support that God, the Creator, has always given you. And may you use the daily practice to connect to God, your inner support and strength. And may you remember the brilliance of who you are. For you and God, the Creator, are one. His strength is your strength. Thank you. Thank you.